Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to the third to last race of the 2021 Formula A World Championship. This is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix being held at its brand new location, the Dubai Autodrome. I want best time to come here to win the race for the Drivers' Championship, just getting closer and closer, with fewer and fewer points separating the top four. Things can be turned on their head and bring the contenders closer, 2 races away from the showdown in Brazil. So here's the track then, the Dubai Autodrome, hosting the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for the first time. Home country of Merissa, the Autodrome itself has 17 corners, 8 to the left and 9 to the right, with a lap record of 1 minute and 41 seconds. We're contesting 11 laps here, but the runs to turn 1 still to contest today. We are clueless as to who will be exiting first corner in the lead, and which driver will be taking the checkered flag come the end of the Grand Prix. It promises to be a very exciting race. So with that then, let's have a look at your starting group for this race. Milton Verve lines up on pole position with Sergio Aguilera in P2, then it's Sophie Sevilla and Chloe Thomas starting behind them. They need to have a good race today to close up the gap in the Constructors' Championship going to the last 2 rounds. Oscar Diaz starts in 5th place over Luca Gatto in 6th for Jaguar RT. It's Pascal Beck to the far side in 7th, and Manuel Hadre is home race. He starts in 8th place for Delta. Starting in P9 is Championship leader Alexia Perne. She leads by 12 points, but still has work to do today. In order to hold on to that lead, Mick Milan rounds up the top 10. There's his teammate Lucas Favroni in the other actor 26, and Joe Daly in the other Delta 4. Starting in 13th is Max Schmidt for Roos Motorsport, and alongside him is the American Scott Price in the other Jaguar RT. There's Eduardo Melo for XCT, and Nathan Gagnon in the first Ami Academy Grand Prix machine. Moving on now to row number 9, it's Liam Turton for Thornton and Luigi Marchetti for Morimoto here. And rounding out the top 20 is Bruno Cabral for Thornton and Eric Turner for Roos towards the back of the pack. And finally, on the last row, row 11, William Evans for Abbey Academy and Riku Tanaka once again rounds off the grid. Well, preparations are almost complete, so let's go down to the track for the start of what hopefully will be a very exciting race today. Only the second track to host the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the Dubai Autodrome, about to play host to Formula A for the first time. Round number 14 of the championship, it's Verve on pole, and below beside him, 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Just 3 more rounds to go in this Formula A season. The lights are out and we go underway. And it's a decent getaway from Verve. Arbeloa not really getting the edge, but he's going to want to try and come back on that right hand side. Sevilla trying to make a move inside going to turn 1, but moves back into line. It's Verve and Arbeloa side by side into the first corner. Verve has the edge for the time being. He's going to have to turn in for the left-hander though. He's had to brake, and Arbeloa takes the early lead there. He pulls away. Sophie Sevilla trying to make a move. Chloe Thomas runs way wide, and that's going to allow Verve to hold on to second place, but only briefly, because the Spaniard's still right there behind, and it hasn't been the best of starts for Alexia Perne. She's actually lost a place here. She's down to 10th. She's got work to do here if she wants to reclaim her championship lead come the end of the day. But it's Arbeloa in control by half a second here. And it's all going to come down to whether Verve gets good enough exit here to make a move down the straight. Here they come. Will Sevilla potentially make a move on the Brit as they head towards the right-hander? This is the longest straight on the circuit. The best place to try and attack. And Sevilla's taking her chances now. She's going on that attack, going into the right-hander. It's going to be tight. Verve gives her space, holds on to P2. And, yep, there he goes. Back up into second place, still holding on to his position. Trying not to lose any more places, of course. He's already lost the lead on the start, which is something you never want to do. Arbeloa has already pulled away to a decent margin. Sophie Sevilla still running just behind Milton Verve, and Perne's found her way past Mick Milan now, so she's back up into 9th, but still has some places to gain back if she wants any chance of retaining her championship lead here today. Sophie Sevilla runs 3rd and could potentially run 2nd if she can get close enough and make a move on Verve coming out the last corner. Verve needs a good exit here. And Chloe Thomas could also try and take advantage of her teammate going out to that last corner. Pascal Becker's holding on to 5th place. He's had a very good start. It's Arbeloa who leads the early way. Going back down towards turn number 1. Sophie Sevilla not getting that slipstream she wants to try and make a move. She pulls to the inside to potentially defend her line from any dive point that may take place. Luca Gatto holds off, or being held off by Mohamed El Hadre, and that's going to allow Perne to try and take advantage, but she's unable to do so. She slows up to accommodate making her way through the corner, and she hasn't run wide, which is good. Scott Price closing in now. He's found his way up into the top 10 now. He's found his way past Mick Milan, the Axel 76 machine, and the Jaguar RT American, now up into 10th place. Arbeloa in control now. He's got a lead of 1.5 seconds already over Verve. Sevilla could get a very good slipstream here, but if Chloe Thomas doesn't beat her to it, down the straight they come. The South African definitely closing in. Will she go for a move on the inside? Will she get close enough? There she goes underneath. Sevilla defending well. She's on the inside. The two give each other space. Very good driving between two teammates there. And Sevilla just about holds on to P3. Similar to how Verve held on to second place on the first lap. Pascal Becker trying to close in. He's holding off Oscar Diaz. He's followed closely by Manuel Hadre and Luke Gatto, who are battling. Both those guys are still battling for 7th. Alexia Perne will be looking to join that fight and potentially beat both of them in a few laps' time. Arbeloa still in complete control of this thing. Off the penultimate corner he comes, and into the last corner to complete the second lap of this Grand Prix. Still in control of the race here. He's got a very good gap early on in the race. Keeping an eye on the two Abu Dhabi Grand Prix cars. Will Chloe Thomas go for a move into turn 1? She's gaining speed. She's closing in. Sevilla not even trying to hold her off. Going into turn 1, it's going to be Chloe Thomas who moves up into 3rd place here of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Sevilla's forced to slow up, and that could allow Pascal Becker to try and close in a bit. No one runs wide there. No mistakes being made. There goes Luke Gatto up the track. Here comes Perne coming through to try and take advantage. And there she goes. She's going to be on the inside, but Gatto just about has the edge. He'll hold on to P8 for the time being. Taking positions gained and lost here from these opening 2.5 laps. Arbeloa's gained 1 place at the expense of Pulsar to Milton Verve. Chloe Thomas has gained 1 place at the expense of her teammate Sophie Sevilla. Pascal Becker has gained 2 places. Oscar Diaz has lost 1. El Hadre +1. Luca Gatto -2. Perne is back to her original starting position of 9th. And Scott Price +4. He started 14th. He is up to 10th. Very good driving there from the Jaguar RT team. Hopefully they'll get a couple more points on the board for themselves here today. It's still close, but not close enough between the two Abu Dhabi Grand Prix teammates. Sophie Sevilla needs to get closer once again to have another go, because of course she needs points today to be able to hold on to the championship lead. She can only assume that Perne will start working her way through, and she already has. She's now passed Luca Gatto. She's up into P8 of this race. Keeping an eye on her as she closes in on Manuel Hadre. Of course, he's at his home race here for the first time, and he'll be looking to do the home fans proud, which he currently is with a 7th place is running in the running order. The yellow flags are out here. We're not quite sure why. It's Bruno Cabral. It looks like by the looks of things, he may have like a puncture of some kind. He's reversing the car. He may have just gone off and maybe he's getting set to continue again. We'll have to see what race control say, but the car definitely appears out of shape in that regard. I think there's a puncture on the right front. But the race is over for him by the looks of things. He's reversing and hopefully be able to stop before he actually gets onto the track. Regardless, he's still out of the running, and we're down to 21 drivers, and at the head of those 21 is Sergio Arbeloa's Fireside. He still continues to show the way as we move midway through lap 4. Sophie Sevilla has now really dropped away from her teammate Alexia Perne. We're looking to take P7 now. Of course, she's driving like a woman possessed. She's determined to hold on to the championship lead that she comes in today with. Cabral's out the race. That's been confirmed through our race control. He's out with a puncture. There is the message for you on the bottom of your screen. Perne, though, finding her way up into P7. Very good driving from her there. Of course, she needs to try and gain back as many points as she can. And with Sophie Sevilla down in 4th, that can't be good for the Spaniard, who needs those points in order to take the championship lead away. She's currently 12 points back, and this race can be crucial for Sergio Arbeloa and Milton Verve, who of course are trying to gain those points back in the championship. Because Verve wasn't even in contention a few races ago. He managed to win 3 on the trot, and only got denied last time out at Mexico when Chloe Thomas won. But right now he moved up into 3rd place in the championship recently, and he's still on course to potentially try and win the Drivers' Championship. Apex is definitely in the best position. They lead the constructors and have both their drivers in contention for the individual championship. Back to turn 1 here. Perne still closing in all the while on Oscar Diaz. Will she get close and take a move down the straight? She's run wide there, so El Hadre could try and close in and try and take advantage, but Perne hasn't really lost any time. She's still running very close to Oscar Diaz in the XCT. Off the corner comes Arbeloa. Down the straight he flies there. He's still got a lead of he's got a lead of 2.5 seconds now to Milton Verve. Just a lap ago that was just about 1.2 seconds. This time now it's 2.5 seconds. That's very impressive from the Fireside machine, and just shows you what they've had in their locker all year, but just haven't really been able to show it so far. Of course, whatever they are showing now, they may have been showing it a little too late. Arbeloa took his first victory this season. That was Fireside's only win this season. They took it at Mugello in round 4 of the season. He came very close to winning in Canada before the driver in second place, that's Milton Verve, denied him with just 2 laps to go. He hasn't been able to win since. Fireside haven't really had their best season, which was disappointing by their standards, considering they were the bookies' favourite at the start of the season to win both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. Of course, they have been denied the Constructors now. They are now too far back. They're unable to clinch the championship from here, which has been down to a few lacklustre performances from Arbeloa compared to his rivals, and an entirely lacklustre season from Pascal Becker, and Fireside are already looking around for replacements for him. His aim now is to be consistent for the rest of the season, potentially to try and retain his seat. Fireside have already been sniffing around Italian Luca Gatto, who would definitely increase the team's markability up tenfold, considering they're an Italian team and he is an Italian driver. But yeah, he's currently battling or trying to get past Manuel Hadre. He's trying to close in, he ran a bit wide there. But Fireside have indeed been sniffing around him, the rumours are true. So he may be there at Jaguar RT next season. We may even potentially see Pascal Becker going the other way. Sophie's Via still trying to close back in on Chloe Thomas. Pernay now up to 6th. So as of now, Arbeloa will still be gaining quite a few points. He'll be getting a total of 17 on Pernay. Only 7 on Milton Verve. And then 13 on Sophie's Via. So this title can definitely still go the way of anyone at this point. Those top 4 drivers in the standings can really still do damage. Of course, after this race, unless Chloe Thomas can win from where she is now, I think the championship's over for her, and only the top 4 drivers will still be left in with a chance come the end of the Grand Prix. And there's contact. Liam Turton's collided with Eric Turner and the Ruiz, and that'll put both of them a lot further behind Riku Tanaka and the Morimoto, who they're both chasing down. And that's very unfortunate there. You never like to see 2 drivers come together in a race, especially they're not really battling for anything important. They're at the back of the pack, just scrapping between each other. Of course, both of them very low point scorers this season, but Turton still has done a very impressive job this season. But he's been talked about potentially for a Dalton Moore seat if Joe Daly doesn't retain his seat. So we may be seeing Liam Turton in the Dalton Moore machine come next season. Brewers Motorsport need to get their act together. They haven't been doing the best this season, considering they were potentially being thought of in that battle for 4th place, which was expected to be very tight this year. With the victory of XCT at the Turkish Grand Prix quite a few races ago now, no one else really been able to challenge. And the winner of that race, Oscar Diaz, has been doing very well. He's also been talked about for the Fireside seat. And speaking of that seat that's being filled with Pascal Becker now, Alexia Pernay is trying to attack. She's closing in. Will she manage to get close enough? She's moving around trying to find a way in, try and get within a car like Pascal Becker, but she's unable to do so. And so she still has to stay in P6. P6 for a little while longer. Pascal Becker doing a very good job defensively. If he can stop Pernay and help Arbeloa gain more points on her, then he will definitely pride in doing so. And that is in his role as a number 2 driver. So he still continues to defend, but most likely Pernay will get him on the home straight. So we'll be keeping an eye on them going through these last couple of corners now. 4 laps to go now. Arbeloa crosses the line. Becker runs a bit wide there, going through the last corner, and that could put Pernay in prime position to attack as they come down the home straight over the line. The gap less than half a second between them. Look how close that is. There they go down towards turn 1. Pernay may just have the edge going into that first corner, and indeed she does. Alexia Pernay up into P5 in this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Becker still in 6th, still holding on to things. He's got to try and get closer, or at the very least hold off Oscar Diaz. Arbeloa still in control here. Take a look at the positions gained and lost so far. Arbeloa still has 1 position gained at the expense of Verve. Same with Chloe Thomas and Sophie's Via. Alexia Pernay has now gained 4 places. Pascal Becker still gained 1, so a positive race for him. Oscar Diaz has lost 2. Manuel Hadre has lost or gained nothing. Luca Gatto has lost 3, and Scott Price has gained 4. So still good points for Jaguar RT. Not many points, but still any points on the scoreboard can be good. But it looks as though they'll be unable to catch the XCT pair of Oscar Diaz and Eduardo Melo. If Diaz was to stay on at XCT, he'd definitely be considered the number one driver for next season. He's been far outperforming his more experienced teammate Eduardo Melo. He's just under a second ahead of Manuel Hadre, who's just under a second ahead of Luca Gatto. So we could be seeing a battle from 7th down to 9th in the coming laps. And speaking of laps left, we've only got 3 more to go now, as Arbeloa continues to stretch his lead. He's got about 4 seconds now on Milton Verve. Verve's just about got 1 second on Chloe Thomas, and she's pulling away from Sophie's Via. She had half second on her last time in the end of the last sector. She's now got almost a full second. Pernay still chasing these guys down. A mistake from Chloe Thomas could put Sevilla in prime position to challenge for that podium place. If Chloe Thomas was to make a mistake if she catches up to Verve and eventually does battle him, then Sevilla could once again capitalise. So it's all still to play for this late on in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but it does look like Arbeloa will be heading for victory. Down the straight they come. Chloe Thomas gaining all the time. Will be unable to make a move on this lap, but she's definitely closing in. You look how close she gets in those corners. The exit may be sometimes where she denies herself time, but still through the second sector they come regardless. It's been a very closely fought season between Team Apex and Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Of course, Fireside out of the running for the constructors, but those two teams are the only two of the 11 runners in the championship that stand a chance of winning it this late on. But of course, the chances are still looking very slim. The driver's title, it does still look to be wide open. With this Arbeloa victory, could go. It's definitely going to go all the way to Brazil. I see no reason why anyone will claim the world championship in the next race in Baku. So it looks like the finale will be the one that decides the championship. And Interlagos, for those of you who watch Formula 1, you'll know that it produces some very exciting title deciders in the past. We'll just hope that we get another one for us here in Formula A. 2 more laps to go now. It's still Arbeloa in control of this thing. Milton Verve still in second. Chloe Thomas still third. Being extra careful not to make any mistakes in running down the Brit. South African definitely closing in. The question is, will she be able to close enough time down on Verve to make a move for second place? The championship may potentially be over for Chloe Thomas come the end of this race. Down the straight they come. Still no progress being made in that regard. Not enough for Slipstream to be able to make a move. Not close enough in the slightest, but she's definitely closing in nonetheless. She's only going to have a few more shots at making that move now, as we're coming through next time by to start the final lap of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which has been a very exciting one for us so far. Right on board, but now with Arbeloa, who's still in control of the race. Pascal Becker still ahead of Oscar Diaz. Alexia Pernay still in P5. He's got 3.5 seconds on Pascal Becker. Look, Gatto now really closing in on Manuel Hadre. As Arbeloa comes around now to start the final lap of this Grand Prix. He's got almost 5 seconds now on Milton Verve. He's done a very impressive job so far today. He's got to hold on for one more lap. And there goes Liam Turton's. Liam Turton's car is on fire. He's pulling the car over. And he's broken his front wing as well. It looks like there must have been an oil leak in the back of that car, but Turton is out of the race. He's backing the car up for some reason. Yellow flags are out. I hope he's not going to reverse onto the track. I think he's going to stop right here. Hopefully, yep, there he goes. Just about stopping. He's on the track, but only slightly. The marshal's going to come over and push his car away from the track and extinguish that fire as well. And that is not what you want to see. It's a double retirement for Thornton. Very unfortunate for them today. The race is over for both Thornton cars. And the fire is just on the exit of this corner that Arbeloa is coming into now. So we'll be able to see Turton's car being pushed away here. And there it is. Arbeloa, it's no disturbance to him as he heads for victory. Chloe Thomas still very close now to Milton Verve. She's still trying to close that gap, and she has been succeeding in doing so, but I don't think she'll be able to make it. I think it's second place for Verve at this point. Sergio Arbeloa is heading for his second victory of the 2021 campaign. Just 2 more corners left to go here. The Dubai Autodrome has served up a very exciting race for us here today. And the winner of it all is going to be Sergio Arbeloa as he rounds the final corner now to take his second victory in 2021. And this could blow the World Championship wide open with just 2 rounds to spare. Sergio Arbeloa wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here at the Dubai Autodrome. Milton Verve just about holds on to second. Chloe Thomas rounds to the podium. Sophie in 4th. Alexia Pernay in 5th place. He'll definitely close up the championship. Pascal Berger holds off Oscar Diaz for 6th place. Luca Gatto 8th, Manuel Hadre in 9th, and Scott Price will beat the other Dalton Moore machine of Joe Daly to round out your top 10. But Sergio Arbeloa, your dominant racing is the winner of the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And like I say, this could blow the World Drivers' Championship race wide open. Well, after that, a very enjoyable Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, let's have a look at the final classification here. So Sergio Arbeloa wins the race at fireside of Milton Verve, 5 seconds separating the top 2. Chloe Thomas rounds off the podium with Sophie 4th and Alexia Pernay in 5th. You got a feel for Thornton there, the double retirement, definitely not helping them in their bids to try and secure a decent position in the Constructors' Championship. But aside from that, a very exciting race indeed. Look at the World Drivers' Championship now, 20 points separating the top 4, 10 points separating Pernay from Verve and Sevilla, who Verve now jumps into second in the championship on countback due to having more wins than Sophie Sevilla. And finally, look at the Constructors' Championship. Apex still lead the way over Abu Grand Prix, Fireside locked in 3rd, XCT in 4th, and Dalton Moore in 5th place. Well, that has been the end of a very enjoyable Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I did. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, and with that, we'll see you for the next race with the penultimate round of the season, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Have a good one, guys.